Hey everybody, good morning, and it's good to see you. Hey, I'm recording this on Friday, the 7th, and this will then show on the 8th because a lot of our Lego activity we're going to talk about is actually going to happen all tomorrow on Saturday the 8th. There's a kind of a get together at the Lego store with my Lego group and our local club, and we're going to get together, obviously safely, obviously with distancing and stuff, but we can get together. It's also Adult Fan of Lego Day at the Lego store, and there's some discounting going on. I don't think I'm really buying any stuff because there's not a lot of the new stuff I'm really jonesing for or got the scratch for, but there is some 15% off and everything. So maybe I'll pick up some Pick-a-Brick and take advantage of that sale. And so I did build something last weekend that I want to show you, and I've showed it on some of our live streams, but I'll give you some update and a look at that. And something I've started building some things for ship timber because half of September I'm out of pocket. So to build a ship in a month, I need to go ahead and get a little bit of a start. So welcome to our show. Hope you enjoy it. It's going to be a short one, and I know that's unusual. And we'll be back. All right, since this is old gray bricks, here is an old gray brick. Okay, it's a plate. And here is a new gray plate. Now, visually, especially in the light I've got going on here, these don't look that different. Obviously, in other lights, they do. But a lot of times, if you're like me and your lighting in your Lego room is not super duper bright, I mean, it's okay. Sometimes it's hard to distinguish between the two in the light, but I've noticed something and been noticing it and then realized I needed to go back and look. See the mold mark right there? On the new gray, the mold mark is almost pure white. And the mold mark on the old Lego piece is right there. And it is the same color as the brick. Look there. You can definitely see that mold mark shine. And that's actually become how, when I'm scratching through Lego bins, that's how I find the Lego piece. Case in point, right here. Here is two Lego 1x2 bricks. See the mold mark? Boop, right there on the new gray. Old gray is not that shiny. All right. This doesn't work all the time, but it, in general, does. There is a couple there. Which one is new gray? Well, you can see it visually, but that dot on top is white, like the plastic was snapped off and everything. There's one. There's the other, which is new gray. There it is right there. Visually, you can see it. See it in these as well. There it is. See the old sets, the mold mark. It's actually a little neater too. It isn't. That is just like it snapped off a sprue and quickly, like you were making a model a B-52 and didn't cut it off very well, but that mold mark actually is fairly nice and neat and tidy back in the day. So, I mean, it doesn't always work. Here is 3 bricks here, which is the new gray. Actually, the white dot is a little more visible actually on these in the older version. So it's not universal. That is new gray. That is new gray with the white spot, and that's old gray with the white spot. So it doesn't always happen. I'm sure it's part of the mold process, but I notice it a lot more in today's bricks, which may be that they run at a higher manufacturing rate, and that mold doesn't close up, or it snaps off faster, or because they pre-colored the particulate that they melt down for bricks back in the old day, and these are colored as they are molding them and stuff like that. I don't know, but that actually has become my visual cue for which is a new gray and an old gray, especially if I am in low light setting or light that really doesn't catch the color of the grays really well. Understand that I mix the grays now. While I love the old gray, the new gray does look nicer and cleaner nowadays, but you know, props to Old Gray. But visually, when I'm in a hurry, there's my clue. All right, here we are at the build table, and just wanted to share with you one or two things that we have built this week. And the first is a very simple build. I'd encourage you that you don't have to throw a ton of bricks to create a moment or a scene when you build something. You just have to pose it decently, and you can tell a story. So this is Bad Fleabnork Bad, and this is a Fleabnork, and this is Benny, and this is a spray bottle from the Friends sets, which I got some of those last weekend, which was great, or 2 weekends ago, whenever it was. And super excited that somebody gave me some of those Friends sets, because I wouldn't have bought them. They don't interest me, but they do come with great parts. So Fleabnorks are allergic to love, and so this spray kind of runs them off and everything. Maybe he's training the Fleabnork. Maybe he's just trying to keep the Fleabnork from his toolbox. Fleabnorks love to chew on tools, power cables, and anything radioactive. So Bad Fleabnork Bad. Thank you, Lego, for all the Benny faces, which are awesome versions of a old school smiley face with some emotion to them. And so these are so great. So that is Bad Fleabnork Bad. All right. The second thing I want to show you is the main thing we built this week. And this is Joe and Pam Schwersky. Say hello. Hello, everybody. My name is Joe Schwersky. This is my wife, Pam. So they are ecto hunters in space. So this is their spaceship. The Ecto Bounty Hunter Mark 23. This is the ship that they modified. The story here maybe is that they got a space transport, added some weaponry to the side to go into business hunting space phantasms and ghosts. Not space ghosts, because he's a cool guy. So here is the side weapon maybe they've attached to the ship. And here are the heavy drives, warp drives, and thrusters here on the back. Opening door, of course, and some greebling action going on there. This is their home-built, home-modded spaceship for Joe and Pam Schwersky, and they go through the universe tracking ectoplasmic threats to the cosmos. So what this really is that it is a alt build. Back in the day when I grew up as an old gray, then young gray builder, the backs of Lego sets came with alt builds. That means they showed you pictures that the designers of the Lego set rebuilt. They used the pieces from the set and rebuilt some other things. Basically telling me as a kid that building what was on the front of the box wasn't so important. It was using those bricks after you built what was on the front of the box to chase your imagination and build it. And that's something that I love. I don't mind so much. I mean, I've got lots of sets that I have built and stuck on the shelf as is, and that's okay if that's how you enjoy the hobby. But for me, back in the day, getting a set and rebuilding something else was super exciting. Well, what I'm going to do, and Jake and I are going to do on our channel, is this is the first in the line of something called Creations from Clearance. And this is the set that we got on 50% clearance. So rule number one is it's got to be 50% off clearance. That means it's really the last that people want, or even a set that no one cares about. Look, my hand is holding his hand. That's kind of funny. All right, so this is 70423. We got this on 50% clearance, and this is a set we like. Jake's built. We love this set, but it ended up on clearance. So this is the set, and using those pieces and those pieces alone, we created this, our first creation from clearance, the Ecto Bounty Hunter. So the rule number one is it has to be on clearance. Rule number two, you can only use bricks in the set. So you're limited in your palette and your scope, and you have to to focus on that. Built this in about 4 hours of work, 2 of which were on Mark Sandlin Fleebnork's show, and the other 2 were a little offline, a little online. So this is the ship. I hope you like it. It is really whooshable. Let's do the Star Wars flyby. There we go. Very whooshable. It's fun to whoosh around, and it's got lots of weapons and all this kind of stuff. And I hope it communicates the idea that this is kind of an add-on, a spaceship that was then added onto. It's very utilitarian, like they popped out a window and then added this generator on the inside that powers this ecto fighting weapon on the outside. And so Joe and Pam, I wish I had some space outfits for them, but they land at a planet with an atmosphere when they need to. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this creation from clearance. And Joe and Pam Shrisky would appreciate your business if there's a ghost in your moon base, then they're the ones to come and get it. So, all right. So there's that. A lot of fun. I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, there are some challenges here. And no, it's not exactly perfect, but that's okay. Build what makes you smile and happy and what you really enjoy playing with. And this is fun to swoosh. All right, the last thing I want to tell you about, though, at the table is I've built something here. This is my ship timber ruler. This is 100 studs that gives me a guide, and I'm going to keep it here, keep ship timber on my mind for the next month. So ship timber is a contest, not a contest, it's just a challenge every year to take a ship, which is also known as a seriously huge investment in parts ship, to build a spaceship that's 100 studs long at least and build it within a month's time. Some people build micro scale, some people build renders and all that kind of stuff, but I'm going to build a spaceship, and I'm not going to show you the clip art, but actually this morning I had about an hour to start working a little bit on the substructure of a spaceship here. So dump out the parts that I have with it. So here is part of the substructure here, where some cargo area. I'm not sure if this is going to be a cargo ship or a medical frigate, because that's a couple things I would like to build, especially a medical frigate, because you know, you don't see hospital spaceships very often. It's been a long time since I built one. So just the Technic framework I've kind of got going on the inside to keep it strong, and some hull kind of testing here to see what the look is going, where it's going to go, and everything. Found a piece of clip art of a really cool spaceship. That's what I'm going off of. So this is the beginnings of my ship timber spaceship. I will only use a month of time to build it, just because that's the challenge. Sometimes it's really cool to challenge yourself, to push yourself, like limited parts or a specific size and a short amount of time and everything. If that stresses you out, don't do it. If it's something you kind of feel like you want to do, then do it. Sometimes you just get an hour and you freeform, like we talked about last week with this lander here. So this is just fun to build. Sometimes you want to build a set. Sometimes you want to build freeform. Sometimes you want to take a challenge. But doing all of those exercises can really encourage you to be a better builder. And be open when somebody criticizes you. Some people might not like what you've built, and they may actually have some good points for you to learn. And sometimes they don't. You know, throw away the trolls, listen to the good critics. So anyway, that's what's going on our build table this week. We don't have any sets to review because we didn't buy anything. We'll talk about that in the close. Talk to you later. All right, so the weekend started where I didn't have a lot of things built, but then a little bit of a building flurry took place. Got in a Bricklink order, and it is the smallest Bricklink order I think I've ever made. It's just $6. It is by Captain Q, which is running a great Lego store. Super good. I'm working on Sunday. We even missed Saturday. I'll tell you why in a second. Filming. So here is just a small order. I just got one of those. I didn't have one. I wanted to get one. thank you Bricklink seller for individually wrapping these new transparent parts. So I don't have this windshield in clear, so I got one. He just happened to have one. And one of these bad boys, because I love the shape of this smaller canopy. I've used it once. In fact, I used it in the first spaceship I built in this new Lego room almost 3 years ago. To get this one, I stole it off of my son's Water Strider Ninjago movie set. I just flat went and grabbed it. So I explained it to him later, and he eventually forgave me. I eventually got it back to him, but I wanted another one. So excellent whooshing, by the way. So I got that, but the main reason I went to his site is he had the trans yellow bars that only come in a few things, not trans neon anything, trans yellow bars. They're so sweet. They came in one set with Green Lantern versus Sinestro, and this was part of Sinestro's weapon. So anyway, for my classic space and my other stuff, I needed that. In fact, there's one spaceship I seriously need to upgrade with these instead of what I got. So I'm excited to get those. So he had these in quantity. If you're going to buy one piece and you can get a bunch, buy a bunch, especially if they're not expensive. That way you can have them in your collection for future building. Super great. So put those in the shelf here in a minute. In the Discord that I'm hanging out in, somebody said something about the 9-high mecha. And so 20-minute build. This is what is a 20-minute build I did for this 9-high mecha. And yes, it opens and you can slide those out to get dude out and all that kind of jazz. So just a quick mech. Yes, I built it on the frame that comes with Nexo Knights and ball joints and stuff like that and everything. But he's pretty well articulated. Cool little mech suit or whatever. Maybe a loader that he can load stuff into. And also I started building a ship. So mostly when I build ships, they are straight up brick. Some snot action going on down here to make an angle for this part of the hull here. I've got a Technic sandwich through these parts here to give it plenty of strength, because I can grab it by here. You can hear it crunching a little bit, but when I grab it by the end back here, it's not going to, see, Mom, one hand, it's not going to break. So I've got a good stout Technic beam hidden in this area here to make it stout. So this is going to be for ship timber. Like I said, I'm not going to be here for a good bit of, or the last half of ship timber. So I've got 2 days of build on this. Today will be a third day of build. I do not want to go over my allotment of build. There's a piece of concept art that I'm following. And a lot of times when I build, I keep a minifig. And so Benny's filling the bill today to know how high to build floors and decks. So make sure there's plenty of head height and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm pre-planning as I'm building the rooms, and these little lights on top of the corridor doors here are going to exist. This is probably, I thought about making it a medical frigate, but I think this is going to be a sequel to a medium-sized ship that I made back in the past, and so it will have more military uses and everything. So I'll let you know how that goes. So here's how I've gotten so far, and there will be probably about this much of an engine chunk on the back to make it at least 100 studs, if not more. So this is going to have a kind of a industrial look to it, but there'll be some swoopiness too. So there's the ship that is in process. So that came about over the weekend, and we had a quick meetup with our LUG, our Lego user group, the soon to be formally named Dixie Lug, and we had a full day at the Lego store. And so I got some pretty good doodads here. We were given this set as a giveaway. Not for sale. Cannot go on Bricklink. And I got back the Maxell ad that I made for one of our shows and displays in the Lego store. That came out pretty well. If you're a child of the 80s or 70s and 80s, you would know that advertisement well. I got a drawer back that I let somebody borrow from my house and borrow parts. It goes over here. I'll put that back from a friend. Grabbed one of these, still on the shelf at a Walgreens because I had to buy an extra mask because Jake left his at home and he couldn't find it. So went by Walgreens and they still had this on the shelf. I did pay retail for it, but I hope they'll take it on clearance soon. And let's see, what else did we get? Jake got a copy of the set too. All right, so we got 2 of those. Oh yeah. And for winning our contest in the lug, I got a bag of bricks. Random bricks from kind of leftover pieces from the Lego store, or maybe they've made a model and then had to break it back down. Leftover parts from Pick-a-Brick. They will give those to our lug, and we then end up reaping the benefit of that. So I got a red sombrero in there, which is great. So we see in here, got these 2 red windows here. Super excited about that because I can use that to make Space Police or something like that with. You can tell there's some stuff that has been built, some stuff from sets. Really good, random assortment of parts that I'm excited about. Got that, and then was able to get this as well, a copy of the Hidden Side set, the El Fuego stunt truck, and everything. This is for an alt build contest in our lug. We got these. I think these were gifted to the lug, maybe by Lego or by the Lego store, whichever. And if you watched our show, you know that we are big fans of Hidden Side. Rumors of its demise are hopefully over exaggerated because I can't wait for the new Hidden Side sets to come out. But anyway, this baby is going to be turned into something, maybe a partnership for the Ecto Hunter, Space Hunter 23. But let's just talk about this for half a second. Lego and marketing and whatever happened, this box art is so confusing for your run-of-the-mill parent, grandparent who's buying Lego for the kid, and even the kid really didn't know what's going on. The back side is actually so much more clear. This should be what's on the front, maybe with a little more action or something like that on the front. But this is so confusing, and when you see them with the other Hidden Side boxes, you cannot tell what is what. So anyway, good parts in this set. 428 pieces. So make an alt build out of this. Never see. Maybe we'll make a space rover or something like that. So excited to have this set. So that is the Lego haul for this week. That's not all. Hold on. Since it was a full day, it was 15% off. And there's nothing I was really jonesing for set-wise because the new Space Rover is coming out. So I used my discount on some Pick-a-Brick. And the way they do Pick-a-Brick is I am not picking Pick-a-Brick. They scoop it, and they have certain size scoops. So I got some 2x4 in white. I've got some 2x1x5 bricks here. And I got 2 things of those for a project I'm about to do. And they were able to dump in some white tiles and stuff. The cool thing is I've even got extra because I was like, dude, I didn't say this, but I looked at it after I got it, and I'm grateful for them scooping it. There's lots of empty space. I would fill those with more things if I was picking at a Pick-a-Brick wall myself. The cool thing is they gave me this whole extra scoop of those big bricks and everything. So North Point Lego store. I don't get to go to you guys as much, but you guys rocked it out awesome. I appreciate it. So that all of a sudden was our super busy Lego Saturday, and had fun. Yes, look how this is my creative mode right now. My desk is filled with bricks. The floor is filled with bricks. All the drawers are open because bricks are flying here in our Lego room. But I'm excited. I'm excited about this project and the one that's to come. And I got to finish up the Blacktron Tower. Okay, this almost sounds like work, but it's a great hobby. Thanks for joining us. So that's our show, and so glad that you're here. So glad that you hung around and watched with us. And we are at 180 subscribers. I'm super excited about that. Like and share and all that jazz to keep building. We'll give something away when we get to 200, which is super duper exciting. Thank you for caring. Thank you for dropping by. Here's the clip art, the concept art of the Lego ship I'm doing. I've already built the kind of this front drop here, which fits into my pre-classic space style. Some blue in there. I may even throw a couple other colors just to update, like maybe the bluish, some of the other lighter blues that are more industrial colors, and throw those in there just to make some stuff. I think this is going to be some sort of Corvette battleship that's going on with my fleet that I have made. So I'm excited to finish this and everything as well. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't joined a LUG, if you can find a Lego user group near you, please do so, because it's an awesome connection that you can make with other Lego fans, and you can tell them all about what you do. You can share with them stuff. It gets you out of your comfort zone a little bit, to put your creativity out there, to get real feedback from folks in person. But you know what? What I believe in, the Bible says, iron sharpens iron, so does one person improve another man. You know, hang around with somebody and let them help your skills get better. And don't be afraid to put something out there, and don't be afraid to receive criticism. You know what? We are created by an awesome creator to be creative. So let's be creative, and let's be kind to our neighbors and love on them. Pray for your neighbors and make sure they're okay. Hope you guys have a super day.